Oh. Disclaimer, not a pro Decaying Winter, and definitely not a pro after like 3 months of not playing. Who go figure. Welcome to a perk guide thing, whatever, for Decaying Winter. I generally forgot what I called these. It's been 3 months, give me some slack. In this video, we'll be going over the residential anti-Ghostbusters perk, the Sovereign. As usual with these guides, we'll be going over the general perks, pros and cons, ability, traits to run, and equipment to use. Literally, there's only one in this case, by the way. Also, some gameplay tips for you to build your own ghostly army. Also, I guess something at the end too? Sure, why not? Starting off with the pros and cons, we have an increased max stamina of plus 50, increasing our base total to 150. Additionally, we have the Cursed Dagger, which we will get into in the next section, which is the ability. However, our melee damage is reduced and our movement speed is also reduced. It's not really entirely awful with the cons, considering the potential of the Sovereign, so yeah. For the ability, it's called the Cytherean Ritual Dagger. Upon pressing F, you throw out a dagger which spawns magic daggers upon contact of a surface. Whoopee. These magic daggers will hone in on non-hex enemies and apply a lesser hex, doing basically like no damage at all, but they will stay forever. However, if you make contact with an enemy, it will apply a greater hex and do some damage as well. Two things to note here is that you're able to perform the ability out of cooldown by sacrificing some of your HP, like about 5, to do it, and that you're also able to shove with it that does 10 damage and applies the greater hex. Now, if you kill a greater enemy hex, whatever you want to call it, it will actually turn into a Cytherean ghost, which will attack any enemy on sight and basically becoming a meat shield. Lights will do nothing besides spawn knives, but the greater hex also does that as well. Confusing? Probably, yeah, I know. It's a bit more confusing than some big stick wielding man that uses stims to literally do more damage. Now, my go-to traits with a Sovereign would be aggressive behavior, to shove much faster, calm for the extra boost of stamina up to 200. Trust me, if you really want to shove, you're going to need it. And impatient to counter the speed negative that you also get with the perk. However, I'm sure there's going to be somebody out there that say, well, I want to run this perk. Look, you can run whatever the hell you want. Honestly, this is what I run. It runs for me. I like using it. I like stabbing people with the knives. Whoopee. Alright, I'm just going to say right now, there's only one equipment that you should really use. It's called the fucking Ballistic Dagger, okay? You legit run anything else, you're just hurting yourself. But you may say, why would I run that? Well, you already do 10 damage with the shove for the ritual one. Adding the ballistic one will actually stack, giving you basically another 12 damage on top of that, which is just 22 damage in total, and plus the bleed effect. From that alone, it's better than a tier 1, and also plays the greater hex still, so like, use it. And if you run the Concertina Bomb, you're literally hurting your own ghosts. Just letting you know. So, gameplay tips, huh? Well, first off, your main goal with the Sovereign is probably creating meat shields for the team, whether from a distance or going nuts by shoving everything that you see. Now, you say, well, I can't do it from a distance. I literally just told you you can by throwing your Ritual Dagger. Or, performing Bloodletting, because you can perform it out of cooldown. So, if you hit an enemy and letting your frontline crew clean your mess up, you could perform your greater hexes and get ghosts out of it. Or you can also be a semi-frontline as well, but keep in mind, you're meant to be support-ish / creating meat shields, frontline second. That's what you should know. The neat thing about the ghosts, though, is that the scavs will usually target them first before you and your team, and the ghosts can also stun with their heavy attacks. So it's really just more shoving and just infinite hell for the scavs. So yeah. Another trick with the Sovereign is that a lesser hex is basically just a budget ESP. So if you're unsure about a scav being in the area, just throw your ability down and the daggers will seek to a non-hexed enemy. So that way you know, like, oh, there's an enemy right there. Yeah. Now in terms of wave survival, during the early waves, you can probably get away with shoving like literally everything. It's just the first 3 waves, like, melee scavs or like the gun scavs. Like it's nothing bad. Maybe the 4th, maybe pushing it for the 5th one. But during like later it was like 6+, the scav wave, the ending, you're probably gonna be more focusing on mostly using guns, since you have nothing wrong with that, and throwing your ritual dagger out to perform the greater hex, or even the lesser hex if you want to. You can also sit behind a big red container as well in the building to bait enemies if you also have the ESP on them, so that way you know, oh look, they're coming, and you can just perform greater hexes and just get ghosts. Honestly, this is just a basic idea of what I get from it and what I do. A lot of people will be like, you can do this, you can do that. Again, there's a lot of things you can do with a Sovereign. Very versatile perk when you really see how it is. But it's mainly like a support role than like a frontliner because of, you know, it has less melee damage, obviously, and it can't like tank as like the other perks. Just literally don't shove literally everything that you see, or you'll just die, okay? Well, that's basically it for the video. Yeah, so I was gone for 3 months. I promised I would be back after, you know, winter break, and I was going to be back after winter break, but just been going through a lot right now. I'm still going through a lot right now, but, you know, I feel like if I want to just, you know, get over things and just whatever, and just, you know, do something that's fun for me, and this is basically fun for me. Streaming is fun for me, making videos is fun for me. Yeah, I plan to come back on that January, like after winter break, maybe like a week after, maybe. And I had it in my head, like, okay, I gotta do the Sovereign or whatever. And yeah, yeah. I'm probably missing the Berserker, honestly, and the Immolator. I know that. I'm probably gonna go out of order here just for now because I kind of just need some time to just do things at my own pace, and yeah, so it's out of order right now, but I'll get the Immolator, I'll get the Berserker, don't worry. I'll get the perks that I'm missing, basically, and then Mind Flayer, then the Damned. And then after that, I don't know. But sorry for being gone for, you know, 3 months, basically. I just, like I said, going through personally a lot right now. I'm sure you don't care. But it's just going through a lot, and I'm just doing my best to just get through it. So, thank you guys for watching. Honestly, I'm surprised people still watch my content, even though I don't post anything for 3 months. So, thank you so much, guys, for everything. I'll see you guys when I make another one.